Iron Top 10.
Number 10.
The number 10 is Aquaman. Aquaman may forever be the butt of pop culture jokes thanks to his portrayal on the Super Friends cartoons and its various spin-offs. How can a guy who talks to fish hold up against the likes of Batman or Superman? Pretty well, as anyone who has spent much time reading Aquaman comics will tell you. Aquaman is not only as strong and capable in battle as anyone who swims miles under the surface of the ocean would need to be, he's the leader of the vast underwater kingdom of Atlantis. Aquaman's core appeal lies in the fact that his loyalties are constantly tested. Does he side with the surface world, where he was raised, or with his people in Atlantis? Aquaman's most widely recognized power is the telepathic ability to communicate with marine life, which he can summon from great distances. Although this power is most often and most easily used on beings that live in the sea, Aquaman has at times demonstrated the ability to affect any being that lives upon the sea. For example, sea eagles, or even any being evolved from marine life. For example, humans and some aliens. Before the New 52, Aquaman had access to a morphogenic field phenomenon called the Clear, an existential effigy that connects all oceanic and sea-related life together as a whole, allowing him to empathize and share in the experiences of all aquatic-based life forms. Some information of Aquaman as follow: full name, Arthur Curry, species, Atlantean hybrid, place of origin, Atlantis, team affiliations, Justice League abilities, Atlantean physiology, superhuman strength, speed, and durability, underwater breathing, telepathy and mind control extending to aquatic.
Number 9.
At 9 position is Shazam. The hero once known as Captain Marvel, legal battles convinced DC to change the name, was once more popular than Batman or Superman. Young readers identified with the concept of an ordinary boy who could transform into the world's mightiest mortal simply by uttering the word Shazam. Superman was the cool, confident dad, but Captain Marvel was more like a brother. Shazam has never quite regained that popularity, but he's remained an important part of the DC universe since they acquired a character from Fawcett Comics. He recently underwent the modern revamp in the pages of Justice League, and he's poised for even bigger things in the months and years ahead. The character obtains powers through a transformation from a human persona into a superpowered entity. When the human persona, Billy Batson, says the magic word Shazam, he becomes the multi-superpowered Captain Marvel Shazam, though the link to the specific mythological figures is de-emphasized in many modern-day stories. Traditionally, the letters in the name Shazam each represent the specific superhuman ability. Letter S for the wisdom of Solomon, letter H for the strength of Hercules, letter A for the stamina of Atlas, letter Z for the power of Zeus, letter A for the courage of Achilles, letter M for the speed of Mercury. Some information about Shazam as follow: alter ego, William Joseph Billy Batson. Team affiliations, Shazam family. Abilities, magically bestowed powers include superhuman strength, speed, durability, and longevity, flight, spell casting, control of magical lightning, knowledge and focus of the gods, teleportation via the Rock of Eternity.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Cyborg. Vic Stone is more machine than man, but don't call him twisted or evil. He emerged from a near-fatal accident to become one of the greatest of a new generation of heroes among the Teen Titans. Forget his enhanced strength and advanced weaponry. Cyborg's ability to tap into computer networks makes him one of Earth's most formidable heroes. Cyborg's star was already on the rise thanks to the Teen Titans animated series, but thanks to the New 52 relaunch, he's now firmly established as one of the founding members of the Justice League. Large portions of Victor Stone's body have been replaced by advanced mechanical parts, hence the name Cyborg, granting him superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and flight. His mechanically enhanced body, much of which is metallic, is far more durable than a normal human body. Cyborg's internal computer system can interface with external computers. Other features include an electronic eye which replicates vision, but at a superhuman level. His mechanical parts contain a wide variety of tools and weapons, such as a grappling hook line and a finger-mounted laser. Perhaps his most frequently used weapon is his sound amplifier, often referred to as his white sound blaster in the comic books. The Teen Titans animated series calls it a sonic cannon, which can be employed at various settings either to stun the ears of his foes or to deliver concentrated blasts of sound potent enough to shatter rock or deform steel. In addition to his mechanical enhancements, Stone possesses an exceptionally gifted level of intelligence. His IQ has been measured at 170.
Number 7.
The 7th position is Supergirl. Superman may be the last son of Krypton, but he's not the only survivor. His cousin, Kara Zor-El, also made the trip. Supergirl has been a mainstay of the Superman franchise since her debut in 1959. Like Mary Marvel and Batgirl, she was an early example of a female sidekick developing a large fan base in her own right. There have been many versions of the character, some Kryptonian and some not. One of them even dated Lex Luthor for a while. But in every case, Supergirl has been one of DC's most powerful heroes, and a standard to hold other female heroes against.
Und die Welt erzittert.
Number 6.
Number 6 is The Flash. First Flash is Barry Allen. Barry Allen's debut in 1956 is credited with kicking off the Silver Age of comics. Barry assumed the mantle of the Flash from Golden Age hero Jay Garrick. He quickly proved to be one of the most popular of DC's new wave of heroes thanks to his almost limitless speed powers, his colorful adventures across time and space, and his never-ending struggle to balance his superhero antics with his professional and personal lives. Despite his incredible speed, Barry always has a reputation for being late. Barry was killed off in the 1986 story Crisis on Infinite Earths, casting a long shadow on the rest of the DCU in the process, but he's since returned and taken up the mantle of the Flash all over again. Kyle Rayner may have managed the difficult task of establishing himself as a worthy, lasting hero alongside Hal Jordan, but only one DC hero has filled a legacy so completely that he's surpassed his predecessor. That man is Wally West. This former teen sidekick to Flash became Flash himself after Barry Allen died in Crisis on Infinite Earths. For the next 20 years, Wally became the defender of the twin cities of Keystone City and Central City. His status as a family man and his struggle to live up to Barry's reputation lent him a depth his mentor never had. It's telling that the Justice League animated series skipped straight to Wally rather than featuring Barry as Flash. And even though Wally has been MIA ever since the New 52 relaunch, we're holding out hope he'll be racing back into action again soon. All incarnations of the Flash can move, think and react at light speeds, as well as having superhuman endurance that allows them to run incredible distances. Some, notably later versions, can vibrate so fast that they can pass through walls in a process called quantum tunneling, travel through time, and can also lend and borrow speed. Speedsters can also heal more rapidly than an average human.
Number 5.
Our number 5 position is Martian Manhunter. As tragic as Superman's origin is, at least he was just a baby when he was sent rocketing away from his doomed world. Jones had to watch his family, his people, and his entire Martian culture burn down before his eyes. But rather than wallowing in misery to the end of his days, the Martian Manhunter made a second home on Earth. He's found plenty in human culture worth fighting for, including his favorite delicacy, choco cookies. And with his Superman-level abilities, he's a force to be reckoned with. Jaeon has been a recurring member of the Justice League in the comics and animated series, and we imagine it's only a matter of time before he appears on the big screen as well. Jones possesses a wide variety of abilities native to the Green Martian race, such as superhuman strength, durability, flight, regeneration, shape-shifting, intangibility, invisibility, telepathy, telekinesis, extrasensory input, and optic blasts. Many of his powers resemble those of Superman. Superman once said of him, "He is the most powerful being on the face of the earth."
Number 4.
Number 4 is Green Lantern. They used to call Sinestro the greatest Green Lantern. Now Hal Jordan holds that title. As with Barry Allen, Hal Jordan helped usher in the Silver Age of DC by taking on the mantle of a familiar Golden Age hero. But with Hal came an entirely new mythology featuring the intergalactic police force known as the Green Lantern Corps. Hal became the first human ever to wield a ring, and his adventures have taken him from one end of the universe to the other, and places beyond. He's starred in one mediocre Hollywood movie and one criminally underappreciated animated series. Hal has suffered as much as any hero in comics, and yet the fierce willpower that fuels his ring is never dimmed. Comic book fans tend to stick to what they know, and it's always difficult to replace a familiar hero with a newbie character. But Kyle Rayner beat the odds. Kyle was introduced as the new Green Lantern after Hal Jordan went insane and all but destroyed the Corps. In terms of personality and temperament, Kyle couldn't have been more different from Hal, but he thrived in the role and became the Green Lantern for a full decade. Even though Hal has been redeemed and returned to duty, Kyle remains an active hero and one of the few worthy deemed enough to wield a White Lantern ring. The signature power of all Green Lanterns is the ability to conjure constructs, solid green objects that a Green Lantern can control telekinetically. These can be anything, such as a disembodied fist to beat a foe, a shield to block an attack, a sword to cut a rope, or chains to bind a prisoner. Whatever their shape or size, these constructs are always pure green in color, unless a lantern is skillful enough to know how to change the EM spectrum the construct emits. Hal Jordan has shown the ability to have a construct emit kryptonite radiation under Batman's guidance. One downside to this ability to conjure anything that they can imagine is that should a Green Lantern ever believe themselves to be blind or to have some other condition, then the ring might make that true because the wearer believed it to be so.
Number 3.
The third position is Wonder Woman. Among the very first female superheroes, Wonder Woman has been a DC icon ever since her 1940 debut. She was created by the same psychologist who invented the polygraph test, which explains the magical lasso of truth she wields alongside her unbreakable gauntlets and her Amazonian strength. Wonder Woman has been a founding member of the Justice League in just about every incarnation of the DCU. She's as strong as Superman and as fierce as Batman, and though she hasn't had much luck in Hollywood outside of the popular 1970s TV series and various animated projects, she's been a feminist icon for decades. Everyone, girl or boy, can admire Wonder Woman's strength and compassion for humanity. Diana is depicted as a masterful athlete, acrobat, fighter and strategist, trained and experienced in many ancient and modern forms of armed and unarmed combat, including exclusive Amazonian martial arts. In some versions, her mother trained her, as Wonder Girl, for a future career as Wonder Woman. From the beginning, she is portrayed as highly skilled in using her Amazon bracelets to stop bullets and in wielding her golden lasso. Batman once called her the best melee fighter in the world. The modern version of the character is known to use lethal force when she deems it necessary. In the New 52 continuity, her superior combat skills are the result of her Amazon training, as well as receiving further training from Ares, the god of war, himself, since as early as her childhood. The Golden Age Wonder Woman also had knowledge in psychology, as did her Amazon sisters. Some information about Wonder Woman is as follows: alter ego, Princess Diana of Themyscira. Place of origin, Themyscira. Team affiliations, Justice League. Abilities, superhuman strength, speed, durability, reflexes and longevity. Flight, skilled hand-to-hand combatant, utilizes lasso of truth, indestructible bracelets, boomerang tiara, sword, and shield.
Number 2.
At number 2 position is Batman. You can trace the various inspirations for Batman clearly enough. He's equal parts Zorro, Sherlock Holmes, and the Shadow. But put all those elements together and you arrive at something truly special. Since 1939, Bat fans have been fascinated by the saga of a man who dresses like a bat in order to inspire fear in the hearts of criminals. It's a saga that has played out in every form of media. Unlike most of DC's heroes, Batman has no superhuman abilities. He merely has the training, the resources, and most importantly, the will to wage a one-man war on crime. And it's a testament to that will that no one ever questions whether Batman has what it takes to stand alongside the rest of the Justice League. Any human who can defeat Superman through sheer cleverness deserves to be feared and admired. Batman's inexhaustible wealth gives him access to advanced technologies, and as a proficient scientist, he is able to use and modify these technologies to his advantage. In the stories, Batman is regarded as one of the world's greatest detectives, if not the world's greatest crime solver. Batman has been repeatedly described as having a genius-level intellect, being one of the greatest martial artists in the DC universe, and having peak human physical conditioning. As a polymath, his knowledge and expertise in countless disciplines is nearly unparalleled by any other character in the DC universe. He has traveled the world acquiring the skills needed to aid him in his endeavors as Batman. In the Superman Doom story arc, Superman considers Batman to be one of the most brilliant minds on the planet. Some technology of Batman, personal armor, Batsuit, Batmobile, utility belt, Bat signal, Batcave.
Number 1.
Number 1 position is Superman. Whether you label Superman as the first superhero depends on what your definition of superhero is, but whether or not he was first, he's undoubtedly the best. Superman is the purest distillation of everything we love about heroes. He has the tragic, almost biblical origin. A baby is sent Earthling from a doomed planet, is adopted by a human couple, and grows up to become the world's premier defender of truth, justice, and the American way. Thanks to his Kryptonian physiology, he's a hero of almost unlimited strength. But what makes Superman great is that it's not about the American way. He cares about everyone, regardless of creed, color, or nationality. He's a man who should be profoundly lonely and unhappy in the universe, but instead embraces his new home and shows us all a heroic idea to aspire to. He's become an international icon, arguably more famous than Mickey Mouse, and he endures every revamp, reboot, and reimagining largely unchanged. What worked 70 years ago still works today. As an influential archetype of the superhero genre, Superman possesses extraordinary powers, with the character traditionally described as faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's Superman, a phrase coined by Jay Morton and first used in the Superman radio serials and Max Fleischer animated shorts of the 1940s as well as the TV series of the 1950s. For most of his existence, Superman's famous arsenal of powers has included flight, super strength, invulnerability to non-magical attacks, super speed, vision powers, including X-ray, heat-emitting, telescopic, infrared, and microscopic vision, super hearing, super intelligence, and super breath, which enables him to blow out air at freezing temperatures, as well as exert the propulsive force of high-speed winds. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to watch new videos.